I want to get the transfers with Crook. He's got some good transfers for us. What can you tell us, Crook?
Yeah, it's bubbling under quite nicely, isn't it? What are we, 4 days into the window? Still the same old names at the moment, hogging the headlines in many ways, not least Mykhailo Mudryk, the player that Mikel Arteta is so keen to take to Arsenal. I think it will happen. The two clubs are still haggling over a fee, but there is just a suspicion that maybe Chelsea might be trying to hijack this deal, as happened to Chelsea actually a couple of times in the summer, didn't it, when Barcelona stole some players off their wanted list. So I think this is probably just a hurry up to Arsenal. The player really wants to make the move to North London, but it might just speed up the negotiations.
What type of fee are we talking here? Because some figures have been banded around of like 100 million euros and things like that. It's ridiculous.
That was the price tag the Shakhtar president put on the player. He came out and said, if you're going to pay £100 million for Jack Grealish, then basically Mudryk is just as good. I think Arsenal's initial bid was £55 million to include the various performance-related add-ons. They've increased that with a second offer to get closer to that €100 million. I don't think they're going to pay anywhere near that. But again, the presence of Chelsea lurking in the background might just spark a bit of panic. I'm sure that's what Shakhtar are hoping for.
Yeah, I mean, look, he's a good player. Maybe not so much goals, but I think you mentioned it earlier, Danny. It isn't a case of him coming in and getting the goals. It's a collective thing, it seems, with this Arsenal lot. Saka gets a few, Martinelli, Mudryk could come in and get a few. It doesn't seem like they're going to go for someone with 30.
He's got potential to score more than he does. He's powerful, really strong, really quick, quite raw in some ways. I wouldn't say he's not one of these players that it's great awareness and coming and playing little intricate passes. He likes to be on the end of things. He's great on the counter. I saw him play for the Ukraine a couple of times, and he was really dangerous, especially on the counter.
Yeah.
But he's a powerful boy, and he'll had competition for places. And you would think, of course, that he'd improve.
Yeah, Arsenal hoping that one gets over the line sooner rather than later. What about Southampton? Obviously desperate for players to come in down on the south coast, bottom of the table. Nathan Jones really struggling so far as Southampton boss. Anything for them, Cookie?
Yeah, they're certainly trying to bring players in this window. I've spoken to sources there this morning. They said they've got a lot of plates spinning in the air, but hopefully some positive news soon. One of those plates is Mislav Orsic, who came on for Croatia at the World Cup. Has a nasty habit actually of scoring against English teams. He got a hat-trick against Spurs a few seasons ago, scored the winner for Dinamo Zagreb against Chelsea in the Champions League.
Did he get the winner in the third and fourth playoff final?
I think he may well have done, actually.
The
chip.
Yeah. Oh, he can score a goal. He's not the most mobile, but he score you a goal. This is the thing, isn't it, sometimes with players? You look at them and you think, oh, he can't do this and he can't do that, but he scores goals.
He scores goals, and that's what they need. They desperately need someone, don't
they?
I
think what's interesting now, if you look at the policy of Southampton, in the summer it was all about bringing young players in. Orsic is certainly not a youngster. The fee would be around about £8 million, as I understand it, so not expensive, not cheap either. I think you might see that they're going to try and sign a bit more experience in this window. We spoke about their interest in Danny Ings. He said they're a young side. You can applaud that.
Danny Ings would be sensible. I mean, he's obviously got an affinity with the club. The fans already... I don't know whether they'd welcome him back, because I don't know if they were disappointed when he left, but...
I think they'll take anybody.
Would you say, though, Crookie, if the worst was to happen, they go down, because of their policy on getting these young lads, and they bought some talent, they have got some good young players, would you expect them to bounce straight back with the way they've gone in terms of the youngsters and the way their transfers have kind of been happened?
I think I would, although the fear is that those young players will be poached. I mean, there was interest in Romeo Lavia, the midfielder they got from Manchester City from Chelsea in the last transfer window. He'd only been there a matter of weeks, so you've got to think if they go down, then Chelsea would reignite that interest. They've got Livramento to come back from injury, but again, with the greatest respect in the world, he's too good to play in the Championship.
Bela Kotchup's another one who's decent.
Yeah, he's a full German international. He was part of their World Cup squad. You can't see him wanting to stay in the Championship. So I think there could be, if they do go down, quite a few departures, but they'll make money, and that was the plan. So hopefully, if the worst happened, they would be in a good position to attack the Championship and come straight back up. Massive game tonight. It's live on talkSPORT 2. I'll be there. Southampton against Nottingham Forest. Nathan Jones bidding to avoid becoming only the second manager in Southampton's history to lose their first 4 Premier League games. Nigel Adkins was the last, but Forest have improved, haven't they? They're a bit more defensively resolute than they were, although better at home than away.
I was going to say, they struggle on the road, don't they? Have they only scored 1 or 2 on the road all season? 2?
Yeah, they've struggled for goals away from home for sure. So I mean, this has to be a game where Southampton are targeting 3 points. But as I say, they're trying to be active this transfer window. They want a couple of forward players. They want a centre-back as well. Talk maybe that Jan Bednarek or Jack Stevens, both out on loan, could be recalled. So I think they know they need a bit more nous in the team.
And finally, news of incomings at Manchester United. Maybe not what United fans want to hear in terms of incomings, but someone's coming to the club.
It's not exactly headline grabbing, but it looks like Jack Butland is going to sign from Crystal Palace. They had Dubravka on loan for the first half of the season, but he only made 2 appearances. He's been recalled, I think at his own request, by Newcastle because he wasn't getting enough game time. They need a backup option to David De Gea. We spoke, I think, about Jan Sommer, Borussia Mönchengladbach yesterday. He's certainly a summer target, but we still don't know if De Gea is going to commit. They've got this option on his contract on big money. I think ideally they would like him to sign a longer term deal, maybe for a reduced weekly salary. We'll keep our eyes on that. But yeah, Butland to go into Old Trafford. They did consider, I'm told, recalling Dean Henderson from his loan at Forest. That would have gone down like a lead balloon with Henderson. Can you imagine?
What he said
Can you
in the
come back
summer.
and sit on the bench, please?